One of the challenges today in our Christian community is that we forget to pass on the baton in the proper way. Si Dr. Cesar Punsalan made a good dissertation of this. Ang kanyang title ng dissertation niya, Pastor Nathan, ay ano? Si Dr. Punsalan, yung passing the baton, succession. Succession. Di ba? Leaders today are like banyan trees. You know banyan trees? There's a saying, under banyan trees, nothing grows. When our leaders die, they are like banyan trees. No one to succeed them. Say to your seatmate, don't be a banyan tree, friend. Banyan tree is the national tree of India, you know that? And read the mentoring by Hayfords, the author is Hayford, something like that. He wrote a book entitled Mentoring Tree. And I read there in that section, during Alexander the Great time, he invaded the west, the east, going eastward. And now he comes into the frontiers of India. And I read that, I was amazed that 7,000 men of Alexander the Great army, soldiers ni Alexander the Great, rested, 7,000 rested under a banyan tree. Grabe, oh, that book, Mentoring Tree, you find that elsewhere. Makita ninyo. So don't be a banyan tree. No, but be an aspen tree. Ano yung aspen? Saging yun sa atin sa Amerika, maraming aspen tree. Merong sumusulpot. Now, we see this in the life of Moses, in the context of, the succession. God is clear to his mind that Moses is out of the picture. Now, who will lead these people to continue on God's plan to establish a nation that he calls his own, the promised land, so that these people will reflect who God is in their lives, and this nation will become a testimony to all nations. He chose Joshua. So give him a salute. He's a 5-star general. Sabi natin ay Joshua. Joshua. And he divided the land. Okay? And say, divide, one to already go. Just dividing the land. It's just make a sharp cut in front of you and say, divide. Okay, divide. And say, conquer. Okay, Joshua. Okay, divide, conquer. And he divided the land into 12 tribes. Say, 12 tribes. 12 tribes. Okay, one to already go. 12 tribes. Slice it into 12 tribes. And then, God instituted the start of the leadership of judges. There are 13 judges in the scripture. Okay? 12 tribes altogether, go. And say, judges. Judges. Say, Deborah. Okay? Deborah, a long hair. Okay, Deborah. When I look at that beautiful hair, tignan ko nga mga babae muna. Deborah. Ladies first. Huwag kang mahiya. Kayo ang mag-typify nito kasi one to ready go. The ladies. Very good. How about the boys? Okay? Deborah. Oh, ayan. Huwag kang bumigay. Alright, Deborah. And then Gideon. Okay? Wonderful story of Gideon. Okay? He makes sure that he is the one, okay, chosen by God. No? There's nothing, going back to God and asking some clarificatory questions. Yan. Lord, if I am the one whom you choose to be the judge of Israel, let me do this. He's trying to fix and help something with his help. Now, we know, before that experience of the fleece, okay, the wool fleece experience of, asking God to do it twice, right? We know the story. He already knew that he is God's anointed, one of God's anointed judges. He knows that, but he makes sure of that. And we know the story. He had 30,000 men against nearly 1 million, his enemies, and God said, too many. Go to the brook, go to the stream, and allow your men to drink. We know the story. How many people or soldiers did Gideon okay, drank from that stream like a dog. Out of 30,000, 20,000. So left 10,000. We know the story. Oh, by the way, the sequence of the story is this. 30,000, he announced it. Those who are afraid, go home. And 20,000 went home. 10,000 remained. And in that 10,000, God asked Gideon to allow his men to drink in the stream. And you know how many people, how many soldiers he had drunk like a dog? How many left? We know the story, 300. So 300, kaya mayroon tayong Gideon 300 eh. So we say Gideon, just like, scrolling, no? Like this, the wool fleece, okay? Say, Gideon. Gideon. Who is this? Okay, and then Gideon. Samson. How do you describe Samson? Strong. He was a Nazarite, by the way. No, he rejected any strong drink, especially those strong fermented sodas or wine, we call. Huh? So, how do you describe Samson? You know, it is also an example I see, beautiful. I take this an example, a classic example for couples whose wives are manipulative, you know. They use their tears. You look at the story. Okay, Delilah cried 24/7. You know that? You notice that? Yeah. What is your secret? Why you are so strong? And Samson said, okay, next question please. What is your secret? Every day yan. Umiiyak yan. So wives, reminder for you, you can manipulate, control your spouses by your tears. No, yon. Ha? Grabe, ha? O, iniiyakan, no? Hindi mo lang mapagbigyan, iiyakan ka, para kang namatay na. Parang ano ba yan? Anyway, okay, so say Samson, 1, 2, ready, go. Samson. Okay, Joshua, 1, 2, ready, go. Aha. Uh-huh. Divide, and Samson. Now, the book of Judges ended with a very horrible, no? Because this is now we call one of the darkest history of the Judges. In Judges chapter 21, verse 25, it says, everyone did what was right in his own eyes. How about you? If you live in that kind of society, everyone did. This is an offshoot of what we call in the modern terminology, postmodernism. Are you aware of the effects of postmodernism right now? My mind dictates what is right. No absolute truth except my mind, very subjective. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. And their exemption, one of them is Ruth. Now here, we say Ruth because he's so in love. Oh, by the way, the key word for Ruth is love story. They live in the second story. Boaz and Ruth, they live on the first story. They have their honeymoon on the second story. But the reality is the love story. Huh? Yeah. First story, second story, love story. And we see the picture of a kinsman redeemer into the picture. We say loving Ruth. Say together, loving Ruth. And so we put our hand like this in our heart. Say, loving Ruth. With your expression, huh? Loving Ruth. With a gentle smile and a sweet smile, huh? To your seatmate, sabi, loving Ruth. Okay, exempted yan. Isa pa, I see Samuel. Okay? That ends the third, okay? Or, third na ba yan? Third, okay? Column. Started with Joshua and ended with loving Ruth. Yung mukha ninyo parang kahali-hali na. Di ba? Brother Norman, parang na-inlove ka ulit kay Sister Girly. Loving Ruth. Alright? Let's all stand. Joshua, okay? 1, 2, ready. Tignan ko yung expression ng mukha ninyo, ha? Okay? 1, 2, ready, begin. Wow. Thank you. Now, Samuel, or the baby Samuel, was an answer to prayer by his mom. Okay? It was a struggle for Hannah, the mother of Samuel. We know the story in 1 Samuel, chapter 1, go on to chapter 2. We read about the struggle of this young mom. Okay? How she felt that she had been abandoned by God. You know, the concept of not having a child or children, you are cursed by God. Why? Because God has closed your womb. Yun ang prevailing mindset ng mga tao nun. Kung wala kang anak, God has forgotten you. So, this mom, Hannah, prayed. In the depth of her heart, she really poured her heart in that house of the Lord. Wala pang templo noon, but Eli and his household, especially his two sons, ministered in the house of the Lord. And her husband visited the house of the Lord every year, annually. And then always, every year, I believe, Hannah poured her heart to God. Lord, give me a son. Give me a child. If you do, I will give it back to you and dedicate this boy to you. We know the story. Hannah fulfilled her promise to God. When was the last time that you made an oath to God? Sabi natin, Lord, if I receive my 13-month pay early, no, I will call my friends, no, and share something, no. When was the last time you make a promise to God? We heard that many people testify, they're making oath to God. Lord, kung pagalingin mo lang ako, marami eh. Lord, if I pass this exam, marami eh. Lord, if you allow me to go abroad to work, Lord, I will pay back. No, I will give you back. We don't know. We don't question their conviction, by the way. But here's Hannah. She fulfilled her promise. We know the story. Okay? And when the baby Samuel born, Hannah expressed to God that he has a God who hears her prayers. And so you say, Samuel, parang you try to, your ears like a listening, okay? You say, Samuel. Loving root altogether. Connect that step. Loving root, Samuel. These people were identified as they never compromised their lives in that dark period of Judges. That everyone did what was right in his own eyes. Samuel. And so Samuel was an itinerant preacher. We know that. Okay? He's a good pastor. He's a good missionary. In fact, he's a circuit preacher, by the way. And he led the people to God. Because the times of Eli, the word of God was rare. Now, God raised up Samuel. By the way, I only surmise that Samuel was a word teacher. You believe that? Word teacher. Diba? Natatawa ako. Siguro ano kayang ginagawa nitong Samuel na ito para nagtuturo? Ano? No? You read the story, no? About Samuel. He performed. But by the way, there's something that happened in his family. You know the story of Samuel when he became old and the people of Israel wanted and demanded a king. And they went to Samuel, you know this in the story of our crucible material, and the people of God said, the Israelites said, you are old and your sons didn't walk in your ways. Now, appoint us a king to lead us. You know the story? Shameful thing that happened in the life of Samuel. I'm reflecting on that eh. You will be good. You will be a good pastor or missionary, but if you neglect your family, tapos ka. Oh, by the way, what's the difference between complete and finished? Who among you here can distinguish between complete and finished? Ito yon, Pastor Norman, ha? If you marry the right person, you are complete. If you marry the wrong person, you are finished. The people of Israel moved from the time of Judges for about 400 years. You sum up the total number of years. Each of these judges ruled, it amounts to 400 years plus. They are moving out from that, and now they are moving towards what we call monarchy. They wanted to, elect and appoint a king. So, United Kingdom was established. Okay? United Kingdom. Okay? Say United Kingdom. 1, 2, ready, go. United. So, we just put our hands like this together. United Kingdom. United Kingdom. And there are 3 kings, 40 years each. The first king, King Saul. How do you describe King Saul? No heart. What else? What other things that you observe? He was a classic example of good starter, but for finish, what is qualified to? We know the story. Okay? What else? Tall. He stood above all shoulders, okay, according to King James text. And that's why he is a king material. He should lead the people of God to battle. He's tall. He's strong. Okay? And Samuel based his decision on image, not on character. Okay, that's why he failed. So say, King Saul. Okay, Saul. Okay, Saul. 1, 2, 3. Saul, no heart. Say, Saul. Okay, no heart. Again, Saul, no heart. The second king of the monarchy was David. How do you describe David? He was, you know that well, he was a man after God's own heart. Now, review. Please, this is our assignment. Okay, could you pinpoint the reference where it says this description that David was a man after God's own heart? Is this being said before he fell into sin or after he fell into sin? That he was a man after God's own heart. Is this being said before he fell into sin or after he fell? Aha, that is a challenge to look at it, huh? Because I have an answer for that. Now, listen. Before he fell into the sin of adultery and murder, that was being said about him. He has chosen already a man after God's own heart. Okay? And then, it was repeated again, even after he fell into those kinds of sins. Natin ay David, whole heart. Sabi natin ay David, whole heart. Okay, Saul, and the last king of the monarchy is Solomon. Okay, how do you describe Solomon? Galing nyo, ah. How can you manage that? 1,000 wives. 700 wives, of course, and 300 concubines. I cannot imagine this. No, we call it a nightmare for Solomon. How he would celebrate Mother's Day. Di ba? May backup siya dyan. He gave really bunch of roses, no? Carts pulled by horses or drawn by horses. No? We know that. He has a backup orchard. Read Ecclesiastes. No? There's a beautiful orchard out there. Okay? Hindi lang naman tig-isang rosas, no? Ni Vance, no? Hari ka, tig-isa lang. Na? Hindi talaga namang madadami yan. But his heart was drawn away from God. We call this the idols of the heart. By the way, friends, think of this and reflect deeply on this. Idols may be hidden in our hearts. Idols may be hidden in our hearts. Idols are not only those things that are being displayed or adored or worshipped outside, But there's what we call idols of the heart. Just examine your heart. And I will do the same, friends. What are in there in my heart? In my heart that I consider idols. That comes in between in my worship, in my adoration, in my service with God. Solomon was devastated by this. That's why he's drawn away. No? And he still want to, pursue God's will for his life, for his kingdom. But his heart is not sold out for God. Why? Because his heart is divided. So say, Solomon. Okay? Solomon. Half heart. Half heart. Okay? Samuel, 1, 2, ready, go. Then, half heart. Half heart. The kingdom split into two because of that. We know the transition of that supposed to be to continue on the United Kingdom. Rehoboam, his son, should supposed to be the key personality now continuing the monarchy as one kingdom. But there was a great divide. Upon hearing these beautiful suggestions from his advisors, he chose the other way around. Instead of listening to them, not to put on heavy taxes, okay, on them, to the people, his subjects, he even increased. Okay, and so the people were burdened, and the 12 tribes, the 10 tribes, moved from that central government, and they set up a new kingdom. We call this the Northern Kingdom. We call it Israel. They retained their name Israel. And the two tribes remain in Jerusalem, and they choose one of those two tribes, the bigger one, Judah, as the name of the new nation that has been split. So, sabi natin ay divided kingdom. 1, 2, ready, go. Divided kingdom. Those divided kingdoms, both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, Israel and Judah, they had kings that are mostly bad kings. And say, mostly bad kings. Mostly bad kings. I do believe that the heart posture of a leader as he engages to lead a nation lies on the integrity of the heart. So sabi natin, mostly bad kings. Mostly bad kings. So, prophets speak, okay? Okay? Prophets speak. Okay? Dahan-dahan lang. Malumanay lang. Hindi mabilis. No? Okay? Prophets speak. God raised up prophets. Okay? To bring God's message to the people. There are two roles of prophets then. One is to what? Pronounce judgment and warning to the people of God. Number two, they provide and give consolation to people that even though they are being dispersed or they are being taken as captives, and yet God will bring about His promise to them. What an encouragement that God will fulfill His promise no matter what happens. Two roles are prophets. Okay? They pronounce judgment and they speak what? Blessing and encouragement to people. That's why we say prophets speak. 1, 2, ready, go. Prophets speak. Okay, with that, we have now 32. Let's all stand and review. Okay, when you review, speak out loud para makuha sa review natin. Okay, creation until prophets speak. Okay? 4 groups. Okay, are you ready? Presence of mind. Okay, 1, 2, ready, begin.